Okay, yeah. So I figured out my cost, and I figured if I was doing $5 each, all three for 10, I wouldn't break even if they bought every single thing I have. So I'm gonna do $6 each, all three for 15, and put signs up so it's still a savings for them. But real quick, the people that can't be here tonight, well, Stephanie looks like she's in, but she's out of field, so she may not be able to talk. And then Laura gave feedback today, so I want to read it because we're at the end. We're setting up this group. We're at the end, and I want to make sure everybody's heard. She says, okay, here's the feedback regarding the discussion. She watched last week's call. So sorry it's coming so late at the final hour. And one of the things we're going to try and do is keep these calls under an hour. I like what Nanette said about maybe just waiting until the person's comfortable with sending out newsletter packages, etc., instead of a specific rank. If I have super motivated star and senior star that feels that way, and they financially can, then I'm not going to deny them that opportunity just because they aren't at the rank this group says they need to be to start. Also agree with Stephanie when she mentioned that if someone wants to be doing the business, they need to be shown from the get-go. And I'm in line as well with how she feels, the point she brought up. I also agree with Deanna when she said there should be a balance in this. I definitely think all of these new ideas and changes can be worked through and we can adjust them to what works for us and our downlines with our making it feel like it's all or nothing, without making it feel like it's all or nothing, because that's what it feels like. We all go along with one way or we leave this group, and that just doesn't seem right in my opinion. I definitely think it can all be balanced out so everyone will be okay with it and not feel pressured to do it a certain way. So I'm going to go over these points, and then you guys can jump in if you want to. I think we've beaten a dead horse, but I'm going to just clarify for everybody. I was never saying that you cannot send things if you're not a star or a senior star. The whole point of this was to set up so that the people at the lowest level would get treated consistently well. I have been doing this with Witchy Gypsy Wellness since the beginning, and I've been the rogue stepchild, the forgotten stepchild, because I wasn't playing the games everybody else was playing. I wasn't doing things the way everybody wanted to do. I wasn't doing the make and takes. I was doing it Carol's way. I was educating everybody. I was sampling everybody. I was communicating to everybody. And I felt like an outcast. I felt like I was doing this on my own. Then I went to that retreat and I learned that the successful people in this organization do it that way. So what I did with that, I determined my way was working for me. My team has doubled in a year. So my way was working for me. My way was working for these women that were making platinum and diamond. So I took that information and I came back to my group with it. And I thought, I'm going to share it. You know, I've been sharing with Deanna's leg her year that she's been on hiatus. We've been sharing things. We've been wanting to grow. We've been wanting to do newsletters and websites and this and that. And I came back and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to contact Stephanie, our leader, my leader, Deanna's leader, our silver, and we're going to set something up. It's not for everybody, you guys. You don't want to do it, don't do it. But this is the way we're setting it up so that people at all levels in our level 7, 8, 9, 10 will get a welcome package. And we're not going to rely solely. The reason I said executive is because I know at executive is when I started, I got in the green. In the black. I got in the black. I was out of the red. I wasn't spending more money than I was making with this organization. So at executive, I think it's fair to expect your people to do it for you, to not have to go. However, I also stated in a previous video that when somebody hits executive in my team and they say, you know what, Carol, I don't want part of this. I don't want to do oil workshop. I don't want to do newsletter. I don't want to take care of the people that sign up under my people. I'm still going to send them a package because they're of value to me. I don't know when that next silver that's going to be under me is going to sign up. It could be my level 6, my level 5, and I'll still get paid for them when I rank. So why wouldn't I want to? I am taking exception at the last paragraph, and I know, honestly, I read these things and I let them sit for a day before I respond because I'm a very emotional person, and I haven't had a chance because this just got written. But it's not that it's an all or nothing, you guys. I approached Stephanie about this mid-December. We waited till after the holidays to approach the group of business leaders that we thought would want to participate. We did that at the beginning of January, and here we are heading into the second week of February, still discussing it so that everybody can feel comfortable with it. This was not shoved down anybody's throat. Everybody was invited. You were invited to it. We wanted you to understand what we were doing. We wanted to have the input. There you go. Now we've come up with a solution. We are going to, until our people hit executive, we will give it to you. We're not saying you have to send out a packet. We're saying until you hit executive, we'll take care of you. If you want to take care of it as a star or senior star, go nuts. Better for us. You're helping us. If you want to send them your people an email every month or a note, whatever you want to do, go crazy. But for this particular group, our intention is to grow the oil brigade. It's to make our group an entity. So that means we're going to have consistent communication as a group. If you guys don't want it for your personally enrolled, contact Stephanie and say, hey, don't send that newsletter to my personally enrolled. That doesn't mean that the people that enrolled below them are not going to get the newsletter, because we're all part of the oil brigade. So the requirements to be in this group, if you choose to stay in it, you're going to run your business like you want. You're going to run your downline like you want. The only thing we're going to ask, and this is an exclusive group. This group isn't for everybody. This group is for the people who want to spend an hour watching the call, which we're going to try and keep them to an hour each week. Either coming on live for the call or watching it the next day and commenting so we know that you saw it. It's going to be doing 100 PV so we know you're doing the business. It's going to be participating with the group discussion when we're trying to resolve things, participating when we discuss the people that are going to drop off, when we discuss how to salvage people in your downline. That's the kind of participation we're going to need. Participating in the newsletter, if you can't contribute to it, at least share it. And putting your people in the oil brigade, in the oil workshop. We want the oil brigade to be strong. This group is for the oil brigade. It's to build the oil brigade. So if that's not where you're at and you don't want to do it, I am not forcing you. You guys, the oil brigade is still there. There's still an oil brigade group. I don't know why Laura feels forced. She doesn't have to join us if she doesn't want to do these things. I extended this invitation cross lines to the people I've been working with the last year. And I did it so we can have a bigger organization at the get-go. But the Witchy Gypsy tribe has operated this way since day one. I have a huge group of my own people, and I have a huge group of people that watch us and haven't bought yet. So I did this to share it. And if people resent me because I came right out and told you what I wanted to do, so be it. I have 12 months. I want to rank up to silver, and I want 2 silvers below me by December. So I'm not going to pussyfoot for 4 months till everybody's warm fuzzy. If you're not okay with it, fine. Step back, take a look at what we're doing. If you decide that you like it, come back. If you don't, do your own thing. We're all our own business. We're going to grow and be who we are. It's just the way the nature of the beast with Young Living. You don't need me to advance. I don't need you to advance. We all do this exactly on our own. And, and Deanna knows. Deanna, she just, the past year, she has said, she coasted this past year. She had other priorities. This was back burner, and she comes back to it, and it's still a growing entity. This is our business we set up, and however we manage to set it up is how we set ourselves up for success or failure. She had a good organization because she walked right back into it, and it's operating smoothly, and it's going along, and now it's going to grow and blossom. So, I mean, I don't know how much clearer I can make it. You're going to run the business the way you want to, but if you're going to be in Rackin Up Rank, then we're going to do it together. We have to meet every week. We have to agree to certain things, and one of them is growing the oil brigade and getting a big presence, getting a lot of input into it, getting a lot of input into the newsletter so it becomes a meaningful tool and not just something with the promos. So we're trying to grow the organization. And if you guys want to grow a different organization, or you don't want to be a part of this one, or you want to be a part of this one just every once in a while, all good. We are going to collaborate cross-line with everybody in the oil brigade at different points. I envision having a rally here, right here in Santee, one of our, Young Living rallies. So that we're going to all come together for things like that. But as far as Rackin Up Rank, those are the requirements. I went ahead and changed the description of the group so everybody's clear on it. And I think we should just move forward now. Let's get this event done. And if you guys don't want to be in this, it's okay. You're not going to hurt my feelings about it. I had this before. I will have this once you're gone, It's not going to hurt my feelings. I don't understand why other people's feelings are getting hurt because I invited people into this. And I tried to do a good job getting everybody's input, giving people a chance to speak, giving people a chance to comment, even if they couldn't come on. I don't know what more people want from me, but I'm ready to move forward and start doing what we've talked about.
I'm ready to move forward. I think you've made yourself really clear, Carol. And am I talking right now?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm ready to move on. And so let's talk about the event maybe. Don't you think that would be a good idea?
Yes.
Okay,
so Wine Wednesday, we were talking at the beginning, the make and takes, I have to change the signs I made because I calculated if I figured people that come to the table are going to want to make all three. So I had put $5 each or 3 for $10. And then I figured out the cost. If everybody did 3 at $10, I'm in the hole over $150.
Oh, that's not good. You can't be that.
I had to go buy the coconut oil at Sprouts today, and that jacked it up another $50 because I didn't get it on Amazon in time. So what I'm going to do is do $6 each and then 3 for $15. So people still think they're getting a savings by buying 15, but I'm getting my money back. At the beginning,
yeah, no, you definitely
thought, a make and take. I'll put the money in. It's not that big a deal. I'll do it, and then what's left over we'll use for future events. I had no concept of how much these things cost.
It's expensive, and that's what I found too with making mine. So that's why I went from 10 to 15, just because the oils in the libido, the love potions are expensive. I mean, Shutron by itself is $75. So I went from 10 to 15 and everybody was okay with that. Plus too, I mean, it's like Stephanie was saying, you figure we paid what, $30 for a deep relief roller. So paying 15 for,
I think people that are young living are not going to have a problem with it at all.
Right.
People that are not young living are going to want to make stuff. So I kind of wanted to give them a value, but the stress away and the stress away roller, it just adds up. And I was like, shoot. And then, I bought things a little at a time in this past 3 or 4 weeks, and I started just adding up the invoices. It was not pretty. So we're planning, Stephanie and I are going to leave here at 4. So is that too early to get there? If we get there between 4 and 4:30?
I think that's a good amount of time.
That'll be okay?
Yeah.
Steph and I will be there then too.
Okay. So I'm gonna pick Stephanie Bergen. Is she still on? She didn't know. Yeah, she's on, but she's muted because she's traveling. So I'll pick her up and we'll come over there. Now the table situation, Jamie isn't gonna get there till 5:30. So I don't know. Are there tables we can stage stuff on? So when she gets there, we just throw a towel on her table.
I have 3 tables that I'm bringing, 3 6-foot black tables.
And I have 1.
And I have 1.
Okay, so that's 5.
And I'm going to get there at 4:30.
Okay.
We'll
have at least 5. So maybe the sign-up table, which isn't going to need a lot of decoration, and I'll probably put one of the banners behind that, the banner with all of the Young Living products at the entrance and the exit table. That one can be set up at the last minute. And
we're not even using our 6-foot tables. There's a table there we're using for that. So that one.
Oh, okay. So then 7 tables we need, right?
So we need, we only really needed 6. So Nancy, you're bringing how many?
3.
Okay.
So Nancy has 3. I have 1. Carol has 1.
Deanna has 1.
Okay, there we go. We've got 6.
So we're good. Okay.
Okay.
We'll all be there.
And do we have all the tablecloth?
There, 4:30.
Yes, Nanette was bringing a couple.
I gave those to my mom.
Okay. There you are. I'm like, where's Nanette? You're right in the middle.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out my volume. It's all jacked up, so.
Okay.
So if Nancy has them, then we have all the tablecloths as well. So we're good on that stuff.
I have a black tablecloth that doesn't go down to the floor. I got it at Walmart the other day. Do you need that one too?
If you want to just bring it in case we want it for something, I think that's good.
Okay.
And I was talking to Nancy for the women's table. I'm just going to bring a bag with my empty bottles and stuff, and whoever needs stuff can just use it.
That's fine.
Laura did say, and if she watches this tomorrow, she's going to bring the Thiamin because she had it. And also Omega Gies. Anybody have that?
I do.
Can you bring that? I don't.
It's the older bottle, though. Is that
It's
okay?
Some of my
It's okay.
bottles are older.
Okay.
Yeah, if we can go
then-
through everyone's table, Carol, and figure out like it's like what you're doing right now. If we can go through everyone's table and see if there's anything they need or.
Oh,
if they're-
okay. Because let's talk makeup table first. Do we get the makeup?
We do. So Ashley has the makeup. I'm bringing a few things that I have for her table. If anyone has anything else for that table, but we have the makeup. I have makeup brushes. I have like the ones they can sample with and things like that as well. And then we have like applicators, and I have a couple jars and stuff, and she's going to bring some boxes for lip display, but so that's good. So we have the makeup.
Okay. So makeup's done.
Because I have the makeup too. I'm going to bring just in case.
Okay. And I think that's good for your table, Nancy, because I mean, whatever. I mean, you have, because you have the beauty box and stuff. I think that's pretty just on your table and stuff.
Yeah.
So yes, we have the makeup. And then Carol, you're good on just.
I'm good. I'm just going to reprint the price, and I'm going to put the price for the make and take at the entrance too.
Okay.
So when they come in, they'll know how much it is.
Do you want me to do that for mine too? Do you want me to put a price list at the entry next to Carol's? Or does it not matter? Just leave it at the table, at my table?
Whatever you think.
Okay.
Well, what does it look like? Are there different areas that people, when they walk by, like if they're waiting in line to check in, is there like a shelf we can put those things on?
No, it's all open with just
there's
tables.
There's tables all around, and so it's like a room, and the tables we use will kind of be on the perimeter of the room, and then there'll be like sitting tables kind of in the middle, and the bars kind of in the middle. And then as soon as they walk in the door, we'll have the check-in table, but there's not a lot of other like just empty space or counters or anything like that.
I'll just leave it at the table then. I was thinking like as they're waiting in line, they'll have to walk by it and see it.
Now I have a question. I have Carol's makeup premium starter kit, and I was going to bring it and either put it on my table or put it on the makeup table, right, Carol?
Yeah, but they're going to have one. I think Amy got one too, so you could have it at your. Huh?
I didn't end up getting it yet because I kind of went back and forth on what color, so I haven't gotten it yet. So if you have the one,
Okay.
And because I showed that to 2 people today, they're coming tomorrow night.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
Good.
Ashley Makeup, she was supposed to possibly get another one from her, but I don't know if she did.
Okay. Well, if she has one, then we can put it on the skincare table and just. I don't know how far those tables are going to be from each other, but Nancy can just say you can go try on the shades at the Savvy table.
Yeah.
Okay. Nancy, are you good on your table?
Uh-huh. I'm gonna lay it out so people can try all the products, and there'll be mirrors there, and Nanette has a step thing that we'll be able to put the oils that are good for the face and for the skin. We're going to put oils up there for them to smell.
Nice.
And then we're also going to have some literature on the table that goes along with some of the classes that we've taken that go along what oils are good for your skin or what does the skincare system do for you. Just because that way people can read about some stuff while they're there, you know?
Yeah. No, that's
Sorry,
great.
Mom, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's okay. That's all right.
One of the things I noticed at the rally, a lot of people don't take the flyer, they just snap a picture of it now. So
Yeah, we're not going to do
some handouts there, they can just take a picture of them.
We're not doing a whole bunch. I was just thinking of just having one like in a sheet protector so that way we can use it for future events, but then they would be able to see it. And yeah, the technology is great. So.
Well, I want to bring those art care booklets that I have.
Yeah, but those are expensive. I mean, you're going to bring them just for people to leaf through, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. They're expensive, Nancy.
If someone wants them, figure out if someone wants them, you can charge for them. That's totally fine. You know, I don't see anything wrong with that. If someone's like, can I have one of these and say they're this much, that's okay.
I'll think about it. Thanks.
You could say if they buy a kit, they get a book. How about that?
There you go. There you go. That's good.
Okay.
Okay, so next table. Oh, the women and hormones, my table. I went to Target today and got some cute, I have little wooden shells I use for my starter kit displays, but they had cute little cake stands that were red for Valentine's. So I got some of those to put my oils on. And I actually got some heart plates. If you guys, I got a pack of them. That's a good thing to put your oils on too. So I kind of got stuff to make it kind of Valentine-y without going overboard. So that should be
cute. That sounds cute.
So that's 4.
And then make and take.
Yeah, that's my 4th.
Good there. PSK, I know Stephanie's not on here. Like, she's doing the PSK.
She's hidden. She's hearing us. But yeah, I'll go ahead.
So I wasn't sure if she had a PSK she was going to bring, or we just hadn't really talked about that with her. So Stephanie.
I think she does. Yeah. I think, Stephanie Bergen.
I don't have one. Amy told me she had, no, I don't have one. Remember I filtered it?
Okay.
Amy said she'd bring one for me.
Okay.
Well, then we'll do that. Okay. So,
perfect.
And then
Thank you.
Zoe is bringing the, she's bringing like the little cans with the smelling cans, you know, and stuff, and the little signs for each oil and stuff. So we'll have all that for that table as well.
And then I have the poster with the long banner with the oils on it we could put behind it.
Okay. And then, so that one's good. And then Jen Lee is making, so did everyone do signs for their table? And that's the one thing, or Jen was just going to make, she had little, that we used for an event before. She had smaller frames that she was going to put what each table was, unless everyone has done that.
I was going to make a sign for mine to match the prices and stuff.
I haven't done that, so could she make one for my table?
Yes, so I think Carol's is, but you have the make and take, and yours are probably done, Carol. Then I can have her do the other ones.
Yeah, just like an 11 by 14, or just a small one, right?
I think they were small.
Yeah,
They're like 5 by 7.
5 by 7. Okay.
Yeah.
And then brochures, Deanna and Carol. I just want the PSK brochures.
Yes.
You were bringing 25 of those.
Yeah, I have them set aside. Shoot, I meant to give them. Yeah, I have them set.
And that's fine. Just bring them there, and then just so everyone knows, again, to reiterate, we have the PSK brochures. We have the Savvy little brochure where they can write down any of the colors they want and stuff. And then we also have the Lucy brochures for everyone. So.
Are we giving them? Did we get a cello bag to put them in so they can put their make and takes in it too, or no?
No, I didn't, but I'm going shopping tomorrow. Actually, I can, because I'm going to grab a few things tomorrow. Does anyone have a microphone? And this is the one thing we kept forgetting to ask everybody, and I'm not sure, and they're not open on Mondays and Tuesdays, so I couldn't get a hold of the lady. So anyways, if someone had a microphone, that was one thing we wanted to ask about.
No microphone here.
Okay, and then as far as for diffusers, I can bring the Desert Mist and the Rainstone. Carol, I was wondering if you could bring the Aria.
I need to fix the plate on it. I need to get a new plate for it.
Okay, or does anyone else have the Aria?
Mine conked out after being at Global Winter Wonderland.
Oh, okay.
I need to get new plates from Diffuser.
That's fine, but that was one that we don't have. And then parking, you guys can all come and drop your stuff off, but I will map it. I'll figure it out on the map and put it on the page or whatever, but everyone's going to have to probably move their car. There's a parking lot just kind of around the corner that's like a park and ride or something like that. So if we can all park there, because parking is limited on the street. Granted, at night you can park anywhere all up and down the street, but it is kind of limited. So, and we'll put a post in the event tomorrow telling people kind of it's okay to park along that street.
Okay, so I have karaoke machine.
And that will work like that, right?
I don't know. It's not at my house. It's at my partner's. It's at my sister-in-law's house because it's half there. And they sing a lot, so.
And I don't know, do you guys think, I mean, this is just something, we don't have a microphone. I don't have one, Stephanie. So is it something we need or not, you know?
I think it would be helpful for announcing the raffles and for, I think it would be helpful to have, but I know none of us had one, so we didn't get one.
Okay. I have one from my kids' karaoke machine. It's
Oh,
a
cool.
Hello Kitty one.
Oh, that's even better.
Will it work,
It's
Stephanie?
white and it says Hello Kitty.
Nice. Will it work for that?
Depends. I mean, it's a regular, like whatever that, plug is. So if they have some sort of amp or something, or we have an amp if we need an amp.
I'm just wondering if the karaoke machine itself will work.
That's what I'm wondering. Because can't you just because I feel like when you do karaoke, you can talk into it even without it playing the music.
Yeah, I don't know if it needs an amplifier. If you're saying that it's a toy, it probably doesn't need an amplifier.
Oh no, if I bring her Hello Kitty karaoke machine, it doesn't need. It has a speaker, but
Oh,
it's
Then
full
maybe
on.
that would work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Full on
Stephanie would
Hello
love
Kitty.
to be announcing from a Hello Kitty speaker.
Oh,
It works, right, Gianna? Your Hello Kitty thingy.
Lily.
If for some reason it doesn't work, I have a really loud voice, and I've
There
done
we go.
fundraisers where I've yelled out raffle numbers before and gotten people's attention. So if
Okay.
it comes down to it, I could help
It's
with
not a
It's
huge
Hello Kitty
Yeah,
or Nanette.
it's not a huge area.
that.
okay.
not a
So
huge room. I think we're okay. Like, if someone happened to have one, if not, it's not a big deal, I don't think. And then we talked about time. We would all be there. Steph, do you?
What about the raffle prizes?
I'm going to
So
bring my 4 bracelets tomorrow. The diffuser jewelry.
Is that what you mean, Steph, or do you want me to run through what we have?
Oh, I didn't know we hadn't talked about possibly going through that, or if there's anything else that people had to contribute.
I can tell you. I mean, if anyone hasn't looked, I can say what we have. We have 2 of the pocket references. We have 4 of the lip balms, a lipstick, a lip gloss, an eyebrow brush, Panaway Lime Peppermint Sleek and Deep Relief oils, 4 of the diffuser jewelry, toothpaste, mint scrub, Lucy book. We have a Shootron shower gel, and then I'm making up like a basket for our grand prize that has the Lucy book with like the Lucy samples and stuff like that in it. So.
And we also have the Jamie made makeup remover pads.
Okay, and I was just reading off the Google Doc. So, and then there's a few people that haven't put stuff on there, so we will have some more stuff other than that. So we're thinking the event starts at 6. We're going to try to do a couple raffle prizes at 6:30, 6:45, 7, 7:15, 7:30, and then the last thing at 7:45.
Have to be present to win? It's only 2 hours, so I don't know.
You would have to be present to win, because when we call off the ticket numbers, you have to have your ticket to present.
Okay.
It's not that. I mean, it's not that. It's going to go really, really fast, and at 8, it's done. So like they close at 8.
Do we have the stickers to put on their passports?
Yes, I have those.
I had one girl ask me if there's going to be food that
Yes.
they can buy.
Not by.
We're bringing food.
There's no food to buy there because they only have a liquor license. They do not have a food license. But we have we're gonna have like appetizer type stuff. So we have fruit and cheese and salami and crackers and hummus and bread, that kind of stuff.
If they're coming from work, can they bring their own food?
Yes, and they can bring food into the place. It's funny because the place doesn't have food, but you can even have like Uber Eats deliver there and stuff like that. So totally fine to bring whatever you want inside.
Okay.
But
And
they
actually,
don't sell food other than nuts.
Maybe we should post that as well when you're posting the parking situation. I mean, I doubt anybody's going to starve between 6 and 8 p.m., but
if they're having a few glasses of wine, it'd be nice to know that they can have some crackers and cheese and salami. Yeah.
And we have, like I said, we have quite a bit of that stuff, and then we have bottles of water for people too. So.
Okay, perfect.
Amy, are you good on food? Do you need us to bring anything else to help out?
I think we're good. That was part of the cost, is we figured that into it. So like I said, we have all that. I mean, I think we have enough for everyone. We have a couple like little dessert items, things and stuff. So there's quite an array of stuff. So yeah, that was part of that. So that not everyone had to like, so I feel like we felt like every time you do something, you go and spend like $30 on your own to bring something or something. So it's just like added like a little bit to everyone's thing. So.
Okay.
Steph.
I think you pretty much covered everything.
Okay. Well, sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, go for it.
Okay. I have 2 questions. So you don't need my karaoke machine? No, because Stephanie's bringing hers.
Yeah, Stephanie will bring the Hello Kitty one, and then we have Nanette for backup.
Yeah, because I don't want you to have to go out of your way, Nancy, to go get it and stuff.
Okay.
we're in a fairly small room. It's not huge. So I think I agree with Nanette.
Yeah,
little voice could probably get wide and loud enough too. So I think
it's never a problem.
Okay.
It's just getting the attention because they'll be talking and having a great time, and probably wanting to buy stuff. So
And my other question or a concern would be that I have like 3 or 4 people coming straight for the makeup table, and they want to try the makeup and they want to talk to Ashley about the makeup. And I just want to, encourage that if you wanted to go over and help Ashley with it, I think that would be good. I think the makeup table is going to get slammed.
It was like that at convention. The lines were over 2 hours to go and just try, and you could do one thing, the foundation or the shadow or whatever. It was like crazy. So
Okay.
yeah, there will be, but people will gravitate, especially if it's not a big room and they have an option, they'll gravitate to the others until the line dies down and stuff. But there's going to be floaters.
I'm going to be a floater, so I'm mainly going to stay at the Lucy table, but I'm going to be paying attention to if any tables are getting busy and come over and help with anybody that needs help.
Okay.
Well, and Ashley Bennett has Misty coming to help her, right?
She has two. There's 2 people at that table. Yes. So
Right.
there is 2 of them at that table, and Ashley is very, very, I think, well versed in the makeup. So I feel really comfortable in that respect.
Okay.
And yeah, you have myself and Dawn, which are doing like the check-in stuff. So, I mean, hopefully that kind of, hopefully people get there on time and that kind of dies down a little bit. But then obviously doing raffles and stuff, will be probably pretty busy too. So yeah, we'll just make sure she's doing okay, and stuff.
Okay.
Like if Deanna's okay, the reason we put stuff with Deanna was more so because Deanna's selling items there. So she could talk and sell stuff would be the idea. So stuff can kind of float around
Okay.
as well.
Thanks.
So.
I'm going to get ones and have change for people, especially now that it's on price. And then I had thought of something when you guys were talking. What was it?
Oh, and I'll put a post. I meant to do that before I got on here. I'm going to put a post on the Rackin Up Rank. If everyone can go on there, and as long as you're comfortable, I don't see why you would be, but as long as you're comfortable I would like everyone's Young Living number. So if you do have someone who came that wants to sign up and you're busy, I have a list of those numbers, so there's no confusion there.
Yes. Okay. And the class, I found some of the class business cards. We can either keep them. I'll just bring my class poster and put it up and have the cards by it. I can hand those out for the classes.
Okay, or they could be at the make and take table too, Carol, whatever you have more room,
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
That's not a bad place for it either.
I'm just going to read, how far is the park and ride? And if I bring a cart, will there be someplace in there I can stash it? Or just
the place is big. So the place has the back room holds 300 people or something. There's a bunch of different rooms. We just kind of have reserved one area. So you guys will see. And then so the room we're in, people will have our tables set up. There's a few tables. They will
Russ is in there. Can you guys see him?
We see Russell. We don't want to tell Russell we see him because we don't want to do that.
Deanna left her camera unmanned.
And then there's a whole outdoor section with tables. You might want to put the Ningxia lights and stuff out there.
Okay.
But there's plenty of room. I mean, the place is big. It's just the area we're having our immediate tables.
No, I was wondering how far the parking was. I'm just going to bring everything in with my cart, stash the cart somewhere, and then we can take it all back to the parking.
Yeah, or just park it right out front, Carol. Park out front, drop your stuff off, and then if you want to drop your stuff off and then run and just put your car down the road or whatever. Just because there's a lot of us, we don't want to take up all the front parking with our 20 cars or something. So.
Okay.
Any other questions from anyone or?
Okay, so a couple people needed to go, but Deanna's just going to brief us on Instagram and why it's better or how it's different than Facebook and why you would be doing both or one or the other.
So Instagram is go ahead. Are you done?
Yeah, Amy needs to go and get ready for tomorrow, so thank you.
My only question and I don't want to kill the dead horse, but going back to what you said, I feel like I've gotten 2 things from you and Stephanie Bergen. So and it's not that I care that you guys reach out to my downline. It's not that, but it's if I'm wanting to run this like a business and doing my job at it. I don't think you guys need, or well, she needs to. So it sounded like from her that she's comfortable with us reaching out to our downline and sending out our newsletter and stuff like that. And it's not like, this would be great if it was had come up a while ago. And it's not that I don't want to be part of what you guys are doing. I do, but I feel like I've been working for a year trying to get stuff in place that I want to do. And then all of a sudden it's like, and I get where Laura's coming from, because all of a sudden it's like, no, this is how it is. Don't do what you were planning. And I've been planning stuff for so long, trying to get stuff in place. So
I'm not giving up my plans though. I have Witchy Gypsy Wellness. I have plans for. I have plans for Witchy Gypsy Tribe. That's not going away. What we're trying to do is create our, I don't want to say East County contingent, because there's people in our group that are in other places of San Diego and in other places in the nation. What we're creating is an entity that is between, I would like to say, you know, Drop Talk and Diamond Droppers, but that's gotten so big right now. It's not what it was when I joined 4 years ago, that I could go on there and somebody from Claremont would answer my question and I'd be able to go and get something from them. We're so far removed from the huge Diamond Droppers right now and the huge Drop Talk that what we're doing is trying to create an in-between that all of our teams, all of our little tribes can feed into. So we have an oily organization that local people can ask questions and get answers right away, and they pertain to them because they know what we're doing, or they've met us and they feel like they're part of that. This is the in-between for people that are still not fully invested in doing the business, that don't want to be part of oil geeks and huge organizations where you get 700 comments on every post. What we're doing is strengthening the oil brigade. It doesn't mean you can't be doing Wellness to Thrive. We want you to. You need to do that. You need to create your own entity. This is what we're trying to create is strengthen the oil brigade so that we can all grow from that and all feed back into that and utilize the resources it gives us. You know, it's going to be a lot better for my, 100 people to be able to be on an oil page where 600 people are seeing their questions and answering than it is for me to just hope somebody out there knows their random answer.
I get that. No, I was just asking about, and I'm just asking you to clarify because I feel like I did not get this answer from Stephanie. So I'm asking, and you just said it a minute ago, that my personally enrolled can get my newsletter, but if they enroll someone, they're going to get Stephanie's whether I want them to or not, is how I took that.
Well, no, yeah. And the reason for that is because the plan isn't for us to be dealing with the Oil Brigade's 676 members. Okay, that's what we have now. We're looking at 2 years down the line when there's 6,700 members, and the people that are signing up people below you are not adding people to your newsletter, are not adding people to your organization, are not adding people to your, so if we train them to all feed into one place that has all the answers, if you guys want to do your own, go ahead. I don't see the problem with introducing your people, even if you don't want to contribute to the newsletter, that's fine. But I don't really understand not wanting to let your people know that our silver and our organization here, our upline, creates a newsletter just for the 1,000 or so people that are in our group.
But it's pretty presumptuous, Carol, to assume that, like, I've been working with Deanna, and this whole time she's been off on her hiatus or whatever you want to call it. Like, that I have been working with her. She hasn't been gone. I know she has been doing the business, but I've been working with her for a long time on the whole Wellness to Thrive. And that's kind of where I was kind of waiting for Deanna to see kind of where because it's not that I don't want this. And like I said, I don't want to go over this in a ton, but on here, but it's just like, I feel like I put so much time and energy into.
You guys are doing a newsletter?
We're starting it, and that's what it's kind of.
So why don't we start on the Oil Brigade one and do one big newsletter, and then you guys can do your communication however you want with your team. I mean, you can send them. I'm not understanding, if you guys are getting together to formulate a newsletter, why don't we make a kick-ass newsletter? Why are we going to have a newsletter for let's just say in 2 years you've got 600 people in your downline. Meanwhile, the Oil Brigade's got 7,000 people, and I'm like, I don't understand it. And maybe I get it. It's me. I get that it's me. But I've got, if you guys don't I'm operating from the point when we came back from convention, we were thinking about starting a newsletter. Here we are 7 months later, no newsletter. And we have one sitting there. All the tools are right there for us to step in.
Stephanie has never once reached out to me
because she thought Deanna was sending the newsletter.
I get that, but I'm just saying I don't have and it's nothing wrong. It's not that I don't want to be part of it. So I know it's coming across that way, and it's not that I don't want to be part of it. I don't even know. I guess it's not going to make sense what I'm saying. So
I'm not understanding it because we're asking everybody to contribute. You would be able to contribute whatever you would put in your own newsletter. All Stephanie puts into it is the specials for the month. Whatever, we talked about it before she put this one out, and I told her to announce the event, the specials for the month, and then the promos that were being offered the next day. We all need to contribute. The more people contribute, the more content we can put in it, and more valuable it can be to those who receive it.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think we were going to be doing the Instagram thing, and this sounds like something that maybe Carol, you and Amy might want to talk about.
Well, no, it's not just Amy. Several people feel this way. And
okay.
If you don't want to do it, don't do it. It's okay. Just tell Stephanie not to add any of your downline to it. We'll go on. None of us are dependent on each other for success. So if you guys want to be excluded, then fine. I brought it because we've been working together for the past year. And I thought, since we've talked about it together, I just thought this was the answer to what we've been waiting for 8 months. But it isn't. And you're right. It was presumptuous of me to think that. So we'll move on with it, and you guys can do your thing. But, this group is going to do that. If you want to be with this group, we're going to do that. That's why we created this group, for people that want to do this together. If you don't want to, though, we're still going to work together on other things. We're part of the same organization.
Right. And then sorry to take your guys' time. You guys all talk with Carol, so I feel like this. And I feel like it's been like this. It's said it was this round table. And like I said, I've been kind of quiet, but it's said it was this round table, but it's kind of like, it did kind of come, this is how it's being done, and this is how it's going to work. And it wasn't really a round table discussion. So that's where I feel like I haven't had it, but it's been said, this is what we're doing. And that's what, and maybe this isn't the right place to do it. Like I said, I did talk with Stephanie Bergen the one day, and she was like, no, that's fine. If you're sending a newsletter to your downline, fine. But then tonight, and that's what brought it up, is tonight, Carol, you come on and say that you're personally enrolled can get your newsletter, but not anyone.
But you also talked to Stephanie several weeks ago, and this has been a very dynamic group, you guys. This is an idea that I had in December, talked to Stephanie Bergen mid-December, started these meetings in January. We didn't come into the meeting. We had to come in with a skeleton. We had to come in with the starting point because we have 12-month plans. Now we're looking at a month gone. So we had to come in with a structure to start from and then say, what do you guys think? We can't just come in and say, hey, what do you guys think we should do? This isn't like party planning for Valentine's Day. This was something that we had a structure for.
I'll start you right there. I'm going to jump out, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow, and then Deanna can go ahead and talk, and then I think I am good. So, yeah, I don't want to keep anyone else's time. So I will see you guys all tomorrow, and
okay.
I look forward to seeing you there. All right, bye.
I don't know how else to explain it, you guys. If you don't want to be in it, don't be in it. You do want to be in it, be in it. We're going to do this in Rackin Up Rank. So if you do want to stay in Rackin Up Rank, that's the expectation. But you don't have to stay in Rackin Up Rank to stay in the Oil Brigade or to be in Wellness to Thrive or to be in Young Living. You guys are all doing your own business on your own, so you decide where you want to belong. I can't be any clearer.
Okay, so is Deanna going to...
Yes.
Give us an Instagram, which I'm so unfamiliar with.
Okay, you guys, Instagram is not scary. You can do this. I have complete faith in you. So I guess the premise of why you would want to do Instagram or over Facebook, and I wouldn't say you want to do one or the other. I think it's important to do both. They are two different separate animals. They operate in a different algorithm, yet they work together. So it's important to know that. Instagram is about full appealing images, right? So Instagram profile, you kind of get that synopsis. It's 9 to 12 on your phone. You're going to see those 9 to 12 squares, and that's going to give you an idea of what that's like, right? It's important that you have those first 9 to 12 squares that they see. It gives them like what your interests are. Your bio is going to say that. So you want to make sure that your images kind of reflect what your bio is. So make sure you pick a name for one that is either your name or something that is related to you for what you're doing. If you're using this as a business, obviously what we are, I suggest you make it public because you want that engagement. You want that spread. So if it's private, you're not going to get, it's not going to be out there pulling more of the algorithm to get more exposure. So maybe if you want to have a private one, you want to have a public one, that's totally your choice. But I've opted to set my personal Instagram page public. And you'll see under the settings, you can go in and customize things. But the most important thing, like I said, is your name. So make it recognizable to you so people are searching. Make a byline that states what you are. Make it witty, make it catchy, because that's going to be intriguing to people as they were wanting to follow you. The second thing that's important is you get an option to put a URL in there, right? Make it your Young Living sign-up link. You can go to bit.ly.com, and you can put your full sign-up link in there and then give it a customization. So mine is Deanna to Thrive, or whatever. Just you can change it even too. Right now I have a bit.ly in there for our event for tomorrow night, and it was a really long event link, right? So I went into bit.ly and shortened it to Ladies Night Out, but then I keep referring back up to, tap the link in my bio and it goes straight to that. So utilize that. Also go ahead and put your city where you're located in there, because that just helps kind of set your dynamic so that your audience knows where you're located. And I think that's helpful to most people. A lot of people don't do that, but I find that it's helpful. Just as I'm looking through people's feeds who I want to follow, you can immediately say, oh, this person's in San Diego too. Cool. I follow somebody that, it lives in the Northern California. Her name is Deanna. She has an urban backyard because our names are the same. That I connect with her, right? But it's cool to see where she is because of what her hobbies are. So when you're looking at your posts or when you're thinking about drafting your posts, Instagram is highly visual. It's all about the image. It's all about what it looks like. So it takes a little bit of planning, and this is where it's a little bit more tricky or takes a little bit more time than Facebook, right? Facebook is just a continual scroll, a continual feed. And you can go back in to look at people's photos right on Facebook, but with Instagram, you've got that grid, that constant grid there. So that's why you always kind of want to be looking back at your grid, seeing how things line up, and just kind of making sure that you don't have like promo, or, oil bottle, just depending on, give it a nice mix. Make sure that it just looks really good. Some of the tips for, deciding what you're going to want to post or what you're going to create is think about your target audience. Like, who is it that you specifically want to reach? Write that ideal person down. This is like kind of marketing 101, right? So you think about that ideal person, who you want, and it could be a person that is almost identical to you because that's who you feel comfortable talking with. Write that person down and then start thinking about like what that person would like, where they would shop, what they eat, what they drink, and kind of tailor your post to that particular demographic, right? When you're out and you're, at like even at the wine night or you're at coffee and you take a picture, it's a big thing. The foodies are taking pictures right now. Make sure you tag the location of where you're at. Tag anything relevant in that area so that it creates an algorithm to spread it farther. The important thing about the hashtags and the actual tagging, right? Do them on your photo and then do them in the body of your post as well, because then you're getting two different feeds going on there, which is really interesting to see. After you do it for a while, you'll kind of go back through and look at your posts and you'll see which ones had more engagement and which ones didn't, just depending on what you've tagged and the location it's been. Use general hashtags like San Diego or SoCal or Young Living, but then also find ones that are specific to your niche and to your demographic and to that particular picture. Like coffee is very general. And as you type in hashtags, you'll see like the number of hashtags that are typically used for that specific one. And it can be in like the millions. So find something that's a little bit more, I don't know, like even like I did Valentine's for tonight, right? Valentine's Day is huge, but Loose to Libido is more specific. So just vary your hashtags that way. I think that's important to do. Some people like to do, so yeah, you can tag your picture. Like when you create your picture, you can say tag people in it. There's like a second item there. And so if someone's in that picture with you or that location where you're at, you want to, that like like today's picture, I tagged Works and then I tagged all of you. So that way you were notified, but then also people can tap on that and they can see who's tagged. So it's just interesting.
Tag in the body.
It helps algorithm.
So
does that make sense?
You tag in whatever you're saying about the pictures with the hashtags.
Right. So and you can use the @ tag. So what, like in the picture, the one I did today, I did at La Mesa Wineworks, right? And I did at the location was La Mesa Wineworks, and then I also tagged them in it. So it might seem redundant, but it's actually effective, especially for an event, because you're trying to get the most the most feed and the most engagement for that specific area. And the algorithm recognizes the areas that have similarities and on their feeds, the things that they like, it's all going to integrate to that. So for example, for Buggy Whip, I did that all the time. And in the beginning, I didn't hardly do that. And then I started integrating that and the exposure was massive. It just took off like wildfire. It's instantaneous. Instagram is something that has to be consistent. You have to stay on top of it. But over a week or two, you'll notice an increase in your followers and you'll notice an increase in so that's where you kind of want to monitor that. It can become kind of addictive because you're like, wait, I only got 5 people that liked this post, but this one got 20. But then look at the 2 different posts and see what's different. You know, it could be the location. It could be that one's lighter than the other. It's just, sometimes it's kind of random.
Because all I know from this is what I've heard from other people. That I was told when you're writing the description of the picture not to put your hashtags in that. Because if you're having it print to Facebook, it makes the Facebook algorithm reject it. So you need to, in the body of the picture, you write it, and then in the first comment, you do all your tags. Is that right?
You can do it both ways. And some people say yes or no to both of those. And there's people who say that works. And there's people who say the traditional way works. I think they're both effective. I think that, oftentimes too, when you write your post in Instagram and you share it over to Facebook, sometimes Facebook gets a little selfish on that. And so sometimes just that alone will make them be like, I don't want to share it. The algorithm is like a monster. It is really, really difficult to figure out. And like I said, sometimes that sharing of that works awesome. And sometimes it just tanks. But you can try it either way and see which way is better engagement. A lot of the professionals will put their hashtags as a comment. You're correct. Put some of them like the most relevant, or maybe like some fun, like, I don't know, like this is not my day hashtag, or, you know, something that's like witty and whimsical.
Your business hashtags, right? First comment. Okay.
Do it in the comment, right? Because then those comments actually attach to that picture in Instagram as well. Because even if you search for it and it's in a comment, it still references back to that original image. Okay. So it's pretty interesting how that works. Yeah. Okay, next. So you're going to identify your audience. You're going to create the list of things that you feel, represent you for your hobbies or what you want to share out there. Most of ours are oily, right? Some of us have one that's business, and some of us have both personal and business. Make sure that if it is just a business page, that you're putting some personal flair in there too. Make sure you post your face. Every so many posts, put a picture of you in there so people know who this is. Use your Instagram stories. Make sure that if you're not doing stories once a day, every other day at least, so that people, your followers, are getting some live engagement of stuff that's everyday stuff that you're doing, but of course relevant to what you're trying to portray. The ideal posting is at least once a day, but ideally twice, like morning and afternoon. If you're trying to grow your following, it's ideal to do it in the morning and then to do it around the 3 o'clock hour. Those are the most, higher engagement times.
Do you do your story?
I found that the other businesses that I helped with, doing that consistently in the beginning bumped up the engagement very heavily. Mine is not mimicking that right now because I'm not putting a whole lot a focus on my social media right now, doing other stuff. So once I'm consistent with it again, that will start to go back up. I've actually watched it fall 50 followers in the past month, just because I'm not consistently posting on there with stories and every other day. You know, it's not consistent. So it's interesting to watch that fall off. So it does make a difference.
How do you do your
Let's see what else.
stories?
Use your relevant hashtags. How do I do my stories?
How do
You know, often.
I mean, I
so
people do them, and I'm okay.
So if you go, and I was going to try to do it this way, but I don't think you can. So if you go to your home page, right? And I know it's probably going to be hard to see. You're going to swipe left, and it's going to turn into this picture, your camera, right? Is the in the last 24 hours. So those are what, and then, you know, it's then go ahead and, you know, edit it, add graphics, add some text, add some hashtags, because you can add hashtags in there too, which actually help with the algorithm. So even though it's on a story, it's still a hashtag. Like Twitter and Instagram run on hashtags. That's their algorithm. So even in your story, if you're doing that, it's still going to be beneficial. And even tagging the location in your story, still very helpful. It just shows that you're kind of like everywhere, you know, and the Facebook and Instagram see that and go, oh, cool, she's everywhere. Let's share her stuff. So it's kind of like tricking it. It's kind of like trying to be like this popularity contest, which I know is dumb, but you know, that's the world of social media.
So the stories only stay on for 20
and then two, you can also get to it if you go back 24 hours, and it'll only allow you to post something from your camera from the past 24 hours. Now you can trick it by doing a screenshot. So like say you had something that you found, but you didn't take a screenshot of it, and it makes it refresh kind of in your camera feed. And then you can use that as a story. A lot of the times too, like even if you see something on here, screenshot it, and then you're able to use that image. You can crop it, you know, inside your editing image in your camera. And you can use those images for your stories or even for your other posts too. Something that's helpful is called the Repost app. Instagram Repost for Instagram. There's a couple on the app, on the iTunes store and Google, that are either 99 cents or free. I pay for the $4.99 one. Just I worked for, we had to be able to take their image without the little byline box and be able to share the entire image. If you use it the way that it comes free, it shows that little square in the bottom showing who the picture was from, which sometimes it's great to give them credit. Obviously, if you borrow anybody's image, you need to tag them in it. You need to tag them in the body, and you need to tag them in the image, because otherwise it's stealing. That's a no-no. So we don't do that. But those are options to copy, you know, somebody's image quickly, easily sharing it. You can do that too. The stories are now available on Facebook, so it works the same way. Let me look.
So for somebody beginning, if we wanted to just at the start and we wanted to start getting the exposure, just post morning and afternoon. And then when you get into it and you're understanding it, add the story and change that every 2 days.
I would add a story. So definitely do a picture once a day. Like if nothing else, bare minimum, a picture once a day and a story every other day, and see what that does, because then it's going to show consistently that you're posting every single day and that you're kind of putting some flair in there with your stories, right? So something personal, something relevant. Especially with our event tomorrow night, go live on a story, you know, just even the Snapchat, it's kind of like Snapchat, but it's, you know, you're doing, you know, just a quick post of that, just tag where you're at, put a heart, put something cool on there and put it up there. Then it's going to flash that multicolored circle around your image, and people are going to know that you have a story there. So it's important to do that, especially when you're doing events. Like, I think it's super important to do that. And you'll notice just from doing the events and with all of us doing it, that your engagement's going to go up big time. So yeah, once a day, morning or afternoon, whatever works best for you. And then consistently do that for, you know, at least a month to get it to come up.
So have you found, I know you worked with Buggy Whip, but with Young Living, have you found that doing this gets you people that you did not know before asking questions?
Yes. Yes. Like I said, this past year it's completely fallen off. So I've literally lost hundreds of followers over this past year because I have not been consistent. Wellness to Thrive itself had gained almost 500 followers. It was like really, really large. It with that being public, and then I recently decided to turn my personal one public, and so that's dynamic because I've been trying to figure out how to personal stuff and just making that, you know, nice blend. But yes, absolutely. You get people following it that you've never met before. You get questions. Absolutely. I've definitely had that. So I think it's a good tool, especially as we are moving together as a, you know, as a unit, as an entity.
So you said you
say something,
just decided to make something else public and it faded out right before you said.
Oh, sorry. My personal Instagram.
Oh, okay.
For the past a couple months, I think it was, I switched it over to public instead of it being personal or private.
You have Wellness
so,
Thrive, and you also have a Deanna one, or is it just Wellness to Thrive?
No, I have both.
Okay.
I have both.
And you've made both
because Wellness to Thrive is going to become a brand in itself. So it's now, right now, it's defining how that. And I make them both public. But so Witchy Gypsy could be public because that's your brand, right? And the Oil Workshop is public because that's that's our group's brand. So those should be public. Your personal one, it's up to you. But if you want exposure, I recommend you make it public, and just don't put things on there that you don't want other people to see. You know? But it's totally your call. Do you guys have any questions? I went kind of fast.
I'm just wondering because like Witchy Gypsy Wellness is my personal one, and I don't think that it is public. I guess I should find out.
Say that again.
Yeah, no, it's private. It's got private information. No,
broke up.
Where would I even see if it's public? I don't think mine is public. I think it's private.
And which is fine. You're just not going to get any outside people seeing your stuff.
Where would you change it? I have to just Instagram business tools because I don't have it says that welcome to Instagram business tools. I don't even think I'm not set up as a business.
Just in your profile. I don't know if you can see it in here.
I'm doing edit profile and I can't. I mean, I've got a bunch of followers, but not.
If you're set up as a business page, then you're public.
No, I'm not set up as a business page. But on my profile itself, it doesn't tell me if it's.
It does. And like if you go, so if you hit your settings button up here, this little wheelie thing in the corner, and then you go down to the very bottom, it's like you kind of scroll past this top to the bottom where almost it stops right before settings. It says private. And you switch it on or off. Now for like Oil Workshop and Witchy Gypsy and Wellness to Thrive, those are branded pages, right? Those are going to align with the website. Those are going to align with the Facebook page that's public. It's advantageous at that point to make them a business page once it gains volume, right? Because then you can promote those. You can pay money to do advertising on that for things that are appropriate, for if you want to do on a promotion, you want to do it on this event. You can promote those to get a further reach. So that's just a marketing, tidbit to be able to work for. As a personal page, whether it's public or private, you cannot promote it. You cannot pay for advertising on a personal page, only a business page. So that's something to look forward to.
So if I have this page now, this Instagram page, can I just change that name to Carol Wiley and create a new Witchy Gypsy Wellness page? But then I lose whatever's left. I lose the content I have, right?
It stays there. No, you can change your name anytime you want. Like you can just go in and change your username anytime you want. So if you wanted to make the one that you currently have into back to just Carol or Witchy Gypsy, whichever, you can do it that way. There's no limitation on that. But then if you're going to have a separate page that's business and public, then you would just have to create a second one. Yeah, you can't have like.
I'm wondering what's best to do now because I do have it's just my family pictures and stuff. Some oil stuff. I mean, I've been putting oil stuff on there, but I'm just wondering if I should just make it public and stop putting as much personal stuff.
whichever you feel, and that's the thing, you kind of have to look at what you've posted so far, and if you feel like that content is more advantageous on, you know, a personal side, then leave it, and then create a new profile for the one going forward. And then too, then that kind of gives you that like that start to your branding and start to your images and that look and feel from that point forward. So it may be more advantageous to start it new, and then make it, if you want to make it business, then you're able to promote it. So it's kind of a personal preference, but that's
so I don't know if you would know this, but everything that's been tagged Witchy Gypsy Wellness or at Witchy Gypsy Wellness, if I created another page and named it that, it would refer to that, wouldn't it? Or if I change the name on this one, what happens to those tags?
They change, because mine actually, my personal use, yeah, they'll change to whatever. So like my personal one used to be McMahon Ranch, and then I changed it to Deanna McMahon and I made it public. Everything that was at tag McMahon Ranch changed to Deanna McMahon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good.
Yeah.
So then I should just change this one and create a business one.
I would think so. That would be easier going forward for you. Yeah. Because then that's still all your personal content's already there, and you're not having to delete it, recreate it. That's already part of you.
Well,
so
the stuff I want, I can screenshot, like you said. I can just screenshot and repost on the other. Yeah. Okay.
Totally. Yeah. Absolutely. And I mean, if it's in your camera, you can just scroll back. It doesn't have to be the 24 hours for your posting.
Yeah.
It's just for your story. So yeah, you can just recopy it. Does anybody have any questions on public versus private? Awesome.
Hi, Kathy.
Yeah, you're welcome. Do you guys have any questions?
Thank you for doing this, because that answered a lot of questions.
Deanna, I may reach out to you in the future about questions, okay?
Where's she? Deanna? She might be frozen.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do. Sorry, you just froze up there, so I just caught your audio. You were frozen.
Okay, you froze too. I was just saying that I may reach out to you in the future, because I am researching it still and trying to figure out what I want to do. So
totally.
Just a heads up for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the thing is, a lot of people get post shy, you know, because they want the image to look perfect, or you know, just be whatever. And yeah, I agree that it should be pretty and the content should be good, but just get going. Like, just get your feet wet. Like, don't have a fear on it. Just, you know, go with what prompts you to post and see what comes from it, because you just never know. You'll connect with people out there, because there's things that they want to see that you're putting out there. So, but yes, anybody feel free to contact me, message me, text me, whatever. I'm more than happy to help.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. Any more questions? You guys, we're just over the hour. We're going to try and keep these under an hour. And we did not, this is our first meeting, and we did not go over the about to drop off people. We're going to do that next week, and go over the about to go inactive. Stephanie, if you can get the list together for next week of everybody that we have to go over, and we just go from the top to the bottom and figure out how we can contact them and save them. Or just tell what we know about them. It may be people that are just not going to do it. At least we can share that, so we have a heads up on how many we're losing, and then follow up from there.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Everybody good?
Yep.
Sounds good.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
And we saw you and your puppy, Kathy, even though you didn't say anything.
They both were curious what was going on. So
yeah. You're sitting here listening to a bunch of women talk. Okay, so everybody, we still have Deanna. Nothing else? Kathy, do you have anything?
Nope. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, Nancy?
Got it. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be good.
Stephanie Bergen?
Yep, I'm all good.
Stephanie Bowie?
I'm good.
All right, girls, I'll post this. It'll take a little longer. The cloud space we ran out of, and I'm already paying $15 a month for Zoom, so I'm not going to buy cloud space. I'm just going to have it go to my computer, load it to YouTube, and then put the link. So it'll take a little bit longer, but you'll get it. Okay?
Great.
Thank you.
All right, see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.